in it. Nah, that's kind of working, right? Oh, that's okay. That's RockWool, safe and sound. Now, here I am in my new studio. Now, I've been using this space for years to record ideatheday.com and for product reviews on Amazon and my other YouTube channel. And basically, this all started years ago when I decided to take some videos seriously. I wanted to put on some videos for my own company, Coupon Pages, and in the process of doing that, I kept trying out new gear. And I got really involved in that, and a lot of people were responding quite well to the videos where I was testing my camera gear, my sound gear, and so forth. So with that in mind, I decided as I enter another new venture, which is to learn the voice recording business, that I would share that experience on my channel. Which is to say that if you start following me now, we're both kind of in the same spot. I'm no expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm learning this industry and I want to share what I learn as I learn it with you. And if you'd like to come along for the ride, maybe you could share with me your thoughts and experiences, and let's all do this together. It's a brand new venture. Now, first and foremost, if you're going to go into a new venture, you have to come to a certain point where you say to yourself, I'm going to take this seriously. Now, in the case of voice recording, the very first and cardinal rule is that you want to have good equipment, or at least the best equipment you can have for the budget you have in mind. But you got to put a little bit of skin in the game. And the most expensive thing that I've ever bought for a new venture like this is this. I have a brand new Whisperroom. That's a sound recording studio. I placed it in the corner of my office. It's a 4-foot by 4-foot space that's totally isolated from the outside. Now, that means that if I step inside of there, I'm going to be getting much better sound than I am right now. You're hearing a certain amount of echo, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. And by the way, for this particular moment, I'm recording on a Zoom H6. I'm actually holding it with my hand, which is going to create a logistic problem in a minute. But I'm recording this right now directly on a Zoom H6. And for point of reference, although I have right here a high-end DSLR, my 70D, I needed it to be a little more portable. So I'm actually recording this on the front-facing camera of an iPhone SE. Which means it's not exactly high quality. But it has its own audio channel, and we can explore what that sounds like compared to the Zoom, which has a much richer sound, especially if you get right on top of it. So what you're hearing now is coming from the Zoom H6 with the standard XY capsule on the front. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the Whisperroom. Now, here's the cool thing about it. The Whisperroom, when you first get it, well, let's get a closer look at it from the outside. It's this kind of... it's sort of fabric covered all around, and it's solid. It weighs about 600 pounds. I've done a couple of quick mods, which I'll go through on another video where I explore that. But the basic premise is you get inside of your Whisperroom, which I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to have to put the microphone down momentarily so I can actually close the door. There's the door, and here's the microphone. Excuse me for a minute. Closing the door. Now, at this moment, I'm inside of my Whisperroom, and now I've got my mic again. And the most important thing you want to listen to here is what you don't hear, which is to say, outside that room, I had 2 computers running at the same time. You had a certain amount of echo. Now, I'm going to sit down for a moment and let you hear the sound of a Whisperroom untreated, which is what I'm doing now. The sound of essentially, hopefully, silence or better silence. So the first thing you want to get out of taking your craft seriously is to find a quiet space. And to me, it was difficult to find a quiet space where I am, so I invested in the Whisperroom. This is a $4,000 unit. I actually got mine used for $2,500, had to pick it up myself. It weighs about 600 pounds, stuck it in the back of my pickup, and here I am. So the first thing you may be noticing is that you probably don't hear as much of the outside noise floor, right? You don't hear that. But what you are probably noticing is there's still a significant amount of echo, especially if I get closer to a wall. So here's a wall, and I'm right next to it. There is a certain amount of echo. You're going to hear that in the recording. What you're not hearing is the outside, which means it's still essential to do that. Get the right recording space. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be posting videos where I'm going to make attempts to try to treat this room the way it should be for voiceover work. And there's a very good chance that I'm going to fail and fail miserably. And if nothing else, I'll document how not to do this. But my first goal is to secure the space, make sure that I could at least find a nice space, make sure that I have the right kind of desk to work on. We'll talk about that and how that works. These are the kinds of things I'm going to be posting on my channel again. So if you're interested in voiceover and you don't want to, if you're willing to just take the ride with me, I got to open the door. So hang on a second. So here I am back outside of the Whisperroom. And what you're hearing now is the ambient sounds of the 2 computers running in the room. I have very little sound treatment, as I mentioned, going on right now in here. So what you're seeing and hearing is an untreated Whisperroom. Again, back in here, there's no treatment on the walls or ceiling. It's all stock the way it was. The light, by the way, in case you were curious, I only have a dollar store light in there. But I have, facing the window, I have an umbrella with 2 lights on it. Inexpensive, you can get them about $15. I've got lots of gear in here which we'll be testing over the next few weeks and months to come. I've got boom microphones. I've got the Rode Video Mic Pro over here. I've got my old standard, the 8KG Perception. I have Zoom H1s, H4Ns. I've got gear. I've got all sorts of gear to go over. We're going to have fun with this. I have the blue... what is that one called? The Blue 8 Ball. I've got lots of gear to go over, and we're going to have fun going through that. And I'm going to show you right now what I'm going to attempt to do with my Whisperroom. It's just I'm going to try to insulate it with, I'm walking into my garage to illustrate what this is. I have here, and you may not be able to see the writing on it yet, but I have 2 bundles here of RockWool. That's RockWool. Let's see if I can get a better view of it here. RockWool. This is known as Safe and Sound. I can't even get a good shot at it, can I? There we go. RockWool Safe and Sound. Actually, you can't see it mainly because it's sideways. Hey, you know what? This is a camera that can go sideways, so let's just do that. It's upside down, though. Isn't it? Nah, that's kind of working right. Oh, that's okay. That's RockWool, Safe and Sound. Now, I have seen lots of people insulating their Whisperroom with Corning, Owens Corning 703, which seems to be the industry standard, but it's expensive. To be honest with you, after spending the money on my booth and knowing that my next step was to insulate it, I decided, by the way, I'm in my garage, so the acoustics are a little different here. I decided I was going to insulate it with the cheapest thing I could find in Lowe's. These are $50 a bundle. Now, inside the bundle, each one of these are 12 whatever they call them, bats, 12 bats of 15 and change inches by 48. That's going to create a logistical issue for me in my Whisperroom because the Owens Corning are 24 inches by 48. Now, that has a distinct advantage, being 24 by 48, in that since the Whisperroom is 46 inches on the inside, you place 2 of the 24s in, and the friction alone will hold them in place. But here, I have to work with 15-inch segments and somehow find a way to make the 15-inch segments not only hold up and stay on the wall, and they're significantly softer than the segments that... I'm going to close my door again. But, oh, and there's my microphone moving out of control. Logistics are always fun. So the point is that the walls are 46 inches right now, and the pieces are 15 inches wide, but they're 48 inches wide. So I'm hoping that I can go from end to end, and even though it's 15 inches only on each piece right now, I'm going to try to take the 15-inch sections, and I'm going to try to go across rather than up and down. And I'm going to try to jam in as many of those segments as I can. And I should have some left over because I did some calculations. In fact, maybe I'll do a little diagram that I kind of sketched out of the way I think I'm going to be insulating this thing. And let's see how it all fits and how it all sounds. So I know this has been a longer video than normal, and if you're interested in seeing how this all turns out, please stay tuned to my channel. You'll see how this works and if this works. And if it really does work the way I'm hoping it will, the echoey sound you hear in this booth today will go away, and this will be the perfect environment for recording voiceover work. I'm going to try to do audiobooks. I'm going to try to do more commercials, which I've done, some of for myself, and whatever else comes along. So thanks for riding along with me, and I'll see you next time. Hi, I was just calling to confirm my reservation for the My Little Pony Festival. Yeah. It's under the email address Pinkie Pie Brony, the number 4, ever, 6969 at... Hi, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, yada, yada, yada. Hit thumbs up, hit share, hit like. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the little bell, all that other nice stuff. Have a nice day.